What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot Rico. It's Rico and Bot on the BF Pregame Show. Live on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. It's week one. It's Sunday Night Football. It's the last ever home opener at the Ralph. It's Lamar Jackson. It's Josh Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. It's time to go here, Rico. How are you feeling roughly a half an hour from kick?
Half an hour from kick, and I'm feeling fantastic. I'm somewhat nervous. Obviously, you think that we're playing, and you think all Bills fans are sitting here. I'm about to suit up, but you're nervous because it's week one. It's against a big time opponent like the Ravens, and you want to come out with a victory. But there are some things that have some Bills fans questioning things. But altogether, how am I feeling on a week one of NFL football? I feel fantastic. We had some games today, teams that you thought were going to be a lot more polished, didn't look polished. You saw teams go right to the end. The Octo Box was up. We had 4 games at the end going back to back. What a week of football and how it started. It's amazing. What about you? What games today stood out to you that made you say, holy crap, this is going to be a year?
What a wild week one. A lot shocked me. Was stunned at how good Justin Fields and the New York Jets looked, despite in a losing effort. 34-32, an unreal game between Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, Justin Fields and the Jets. I thought the Jets offensively looked better than they have at any point in years in that game. Good. I was stunned by that. Was not stunned at all by how bad the Miami Dolphins looked. They looked every bit like I thought they would. They got dismantled by Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. Tua looked as bad as he ever had. And I'm telling you, I've been telling you all offseason, wait till the end of the year when those Dolphins are in the basement of the AFC East. You saw why today. They were as bad as any team in the entire National Football League this afternoon. No shock to me as well, Rico. The Las Vegas Raiders under Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, they didn't skip a beat. They go out and beat Mike Vrabel in his debut as the head coach of the New England Patriots. So if you do the math there, that's a Jets loss, that's a Dolphins loss, that is a Patriots loss. That is 3 losses amongst the 4 teams in the AFC East. Can the Buffalo Bills be the lone victor in the AFC East? You also look around the NFL in general. The Texans lose. The Bengals do not look good, should have lost to the Cleveland Browns if not for a missed kick at the end. The Detroit Lions, right? They were as good as anybody last year. They look abysmal against the Green Bay Packers. The league, I know it's week one, things will change, but my God, it's as open as it's ever been based on what we saw today. Can the Buffalo Bills take a step ahead? I'm also skipping over the fact the Kansas City Chiefs lose in week one to division rival Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers. A wild week one. The Bills have an opportunity with their schedule coming up here the way that it is, Rico, to really separate themselves, even though it's only the first week of the season.
I got a big smile on my face because I saw some really good football, but the amount of games that were predicated on missed kicks and PATs, are you kidding me? Special team blunders for the first week. I guess people are starting to, you know what I mean? Just get warmed up. Get the jitters out of the way. Who knows what it was today, but there was some moments in this game. Like you said, the Steelers and Jets, the Jets, although taking that loss, didn't look bad at all. Putting up 32 points against a pretty damn good Steelers defense. It didn't look like it this way, but listen, I think they got themselves a quarterback in Justin Fields. Watch out. But let's go back to the Dolphins. The Dolphins looked absolutely terrible. Offensively, defensively, special teams, coaching. You had a coach that says my quarterback didn't look good, but he wasn't. We were surprised by some of the blitzes and pressures. What kind of response is that? Like, dude, you have Dolphins fans calling for the head coach's head week one. Week one, it was that bad a loss that they're calling for their head coach. It's not going to be a good year for the Miami Dolphins. I'll tell you this. Although it is just week one, this was a bad week one. It didn't look good. It doesn't look promising. Your thoughts on this Dolphins team, this state of the Miami Dolphins?
It's one of the most embarrassing losses I've seen in some time. I don't really know how you come back from that. I get it. It's the first game of the year. but it is week 1 in a game that the betting line's viewed as a pick'em. And if you don't know what a pick'em is, that basically means it's anybody's game. It's a 50-50 coin toss. It was 30-0 up until garbage time when the Dolphins added 8 points in garbage time. The Indianapolis Colts, under Daniel Jones, who was drafted by the Giants and cut mid-season because they had seen enough last year, he goes out in that game and he leads the Colts to scoring on every single drive of the entire football game. The Indianapolis Colts offensively scored every single time they touched the football. Tua himself had 3 turnovers. There was a point in time where the Dolphins had less than 70 total yards of offense, and there were 3 individual players on the Colts that had more offense than the entire Dolphins unit did.
Rough.
That was as bad and embarrassing of a week 1 loss as you could possibly have. And here's the crazy thing, Rico. It's not like it really came out of nowhere. You were hearing all offseason about how this team just doesn't feel like it has it all together. The culture seems to be crumbling under Mike McDaniel. You saw Tua and Tyreek Hill's little tiff there during the offseason where he calls him out publicly, right? And you're watching Mike McDaniel on the sideline there, and I can't help but think, and I've been thinking this all offseason, and now I'm waiting to see. It's a matter of when, not if. When is this whole thing going to be shaken up? Because I think that there is a massive, massive change from top to bottom in Miami. And I think today you saw why. You cannot, if you do that even one more time within the next 2 weeks, Rico, I don't know how you can continue to go through the season doing what you already have been doing without making a change.
Mike McDaniel's, he's on thin ice. He's on thin ice. Yeah. He's on thin ice with the public. He's on thin ice with the Miami Dolphins fans. And the more that this happens, that quirky, love that guy, so funny, love my coach, that display that he's been putting on the last few years, it's gonna run thin. It's running thin now. You continue to act like so nonchalant, players are gonna turn on you. And the minute the players turn on you, it's a wrap. It is an absolute wrap. So we're gonna be paying close attention to the Miami Dolphins. But you know what? It's the Miami Dolphins. This is what we expected. The best thing for them going forward is to lose many games. Stick with Tua. Do not go to Zach Wilson because he might surge this team forward and try to become the guy. Just stick with Tua the whole way through, and hopefully you can get a high enough draft pick, and maybe you can aim for Arch Manning. Who knows, right? But it's like,
if he looks like he did in week 1, Arch Manning, Rico, sign me up. Let the Dolphins tank all they want. I'm fine by that. We can do that too.
I'll say this, man. It's nice to know that the AFC all took a loss today, so we'll be one leg up if we do what we're supposed to do against these Baltimore Ravens. Now, let's get right into this Baltimore Ravens. I need to get right into it, man. What do you need to see from the Bills today going into this game? And while you cook something up and while you're thinking about it, we got to hit the inactive list. Did you have a chance to take a look at the inactive list?
I did, yes.
All right, so I don't know if I'm going to try to post this up so you guys can see what we're looking at in terms of the inactive list. So first things first, immediately what stands out to me is the fact that we have a very expensive player on the inactive list, and that is Curtis Samuel. So Curtis Samuel being one of them. I'll put up the list in just a moment. Curtis Samuel, Landon Jackson, Chris Lund, Hancock happens to be one of the guys that are on the list as well. So some surprise, a surprise name on there. I didn't think Hancock was going to be on that list, but he happens to be. Landon Jackson happens to be one, the 3rd round draft pick, not on the field. I mean, is our depth that great that he's inactive? Talk to me on your thoughts on A, this inactive list, and B, what do you need to see today for these Bills to really pull in a W?
Well, I guess Hancock and Landon Jackson, right, maybe just being a victim right now of a circumstance right now that does not entail the availability on that depth chart to have them suited up for this game or to have them on the active list for this game. I don't think it's a bad thing more than it is just we feel fine with what we have right there right now. But the Curtis Samuel situation, I don't know what's going on there. Does anybody know what's going on there? We haven't seen him all off season. I think a lot of people thought he wasn't even going to make the roster. I mean, I think a lot of people thought that the Bills were going to try and trade him away to a wide receiver needy team. It would have been tough to cut him based on the amount of money they've committed to him. But there were plenty of people out there that were pounding the table saying the Bills, they feel fine right now at wide receiver, or at least fine enough to where you'd be willing to take that contract off your hands and allow somebody else to get a crack at whatever Curtis Samuel could bring to the table. I don't know what's going on there. The fact that he not only makes the roster, but is in street clothes today, for what reason, I don't know. I mean, does anybody really know? And then what's the plan there when he's healthy? Because we just haven't seen really anything all offseason as an indicator to us that there's some sort of game plan worth getting excited about over Curtis Samuel. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, Rico. The grand scheme of the inactive list, nothing really bothersome to me other than that. And I don't know what to think about it because I just don't know what the reasoning is, not only behind him being inactive, but behind their strategy moving forward with him and what his role inevitably is going to be on this team once he is active. I mean, what did you make of seeing him on there?
Well, I'm looking at the starting lineup right now and looking at the receiving room. It's Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir. We know that's our top three. Tyrell Shivers clearly has become a fan favorite, and they seem to have a liking to him, potentially using him a lot more than we anticipated. And then Elijah Moore coming into this. So you'll notice they went with 5 receivers today, not the 6. So I'm wondering where did they add that, or where did they decide to sit Samuels, and who did they add to this roster? So I'm looking at, you've got your 3 tight ends, not a big difference. I mean, obviously sitting Hancock was interesting. So did they go with more linemen to make sure? Did they step up their game somewhere? I'm just trying to take a look at this roster here. You got Taryn, obviously you got DeMar, you got Taryn, you got Taylor Rapp, Cole Bishop, Sam Franklin obviously has been put on the roster, so he's going to be on a big special teamer. So maybe that was the difference right there. But look, Trey White being out, we knew that was going to be, he was doubtful. You knew he's going to be out. So I'm looking at this DB room. So maybe the Sam Franklin activation maybe could have been something, but interesting nonetheless, having Curtis Samuel, Trey White, Hancock out, Van Granger, he's out, Chase Lund, and Landon Jackson. So it is going to be interesting. But the Curtis Samuel doesn't sit well with me. $8 million sitting on the sideline does not sit well with me. We gave him a pretty decent contract, and you're not even active. You're a healthy scratch. I'm puzzled by it. Am I surprised by it? Not at all. I mean, did you see or hear anything great about him this all offseason? No, he was either nursing an injury or wasn't doing anything to stand out. So Elijah Moore, you have an opportunity to step your game up. 5 receivers. You should be considering yourself lucky. Let's see what you bring to the table. Looking at this roster as well, I mean, you're going into a team against the Ravens. The Ravens are in a predicament as well. Pat Ricard, he's not going to be playing. Isaiah Likely, he won't be playing. So as we have some injuries, they do as well. Anything that stands out to you, what do you need to see going into this game? And that was my part 2 question for you. What do you got?
Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's just a lot to this game. There's a reason why it's the Sunday night football game to kick the year off. It doesn't really get better. Well, for starters, I'm just going to be watching the atmosphere in general. Last home opener at the Ralph. I'm not going to take for granted the last the last handful of games here in that stadium. We'll be there in, I think, 10 days or so from today, and I'm going to enjoy every second of that just because it's coming to an end. So that'll be the first thing I think of, when I watch the team run out. But once that happens, obviously it's go time. It's what's going on, on the actual field. And it all comes down to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen in this game. And I expect both of them to look really solid. And I talked about this on Friday night. I think Lamar Jackson has an added edge here. I called it a fossil fuel. I think he just has something within him based on how the season ended last year, based on losing the MVP. I think he's got a little bit of an additional intangible boost in this game that can't be replicated by Buffalo. But with that said, we've also seen this team implode at certain points throughout the year where they play against a higher caliber teams, where they'll turn the ball over, they'll make a mistake or whatever. The Bills last year, what they were really good at pretty much the entire year was avoiding that major mistake. And that's why they really only lost one game after the debacle that was the Ravens game in the regular season. And I think they learned a lot from that, right? What they were able to do after that was incredible. They were ripping off 30 points per week. And the only game that they legitimately lost outside of the week 18 game where they were resting their starters was that Rams game where Josh Allen played terrific and they just could not stop the Rams at all. The main thing I'm looking at right here, I think I know what I'm getting with Josh Allen by now. I think it's safe to say I can anticipate what I'm getting from him. And I think it's safe to say you can anticipate for the most part what you're getting from the offense because of the trust you have in Josh Allen. But what I'm looking for in particular in this game is how the defensive front is going to look and how they end up going up against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. We've seen them at times dominate against these guys and really do a terrific job of containing Lamar's unreal athletic ability, containing Derrick Henry's explosiveness. We've also seen times where they have allowed them to dictate the game offensively and not be able to recover. I think it really goes through the defensive front in this game. A lot of new faces there, young and old. And I'm just excited to see what this refreshed Bills D looks like. So I think the biggest thing to me here, Rico, besides the obvious, which is Josh Allen v. Lamar Jackson, I'm looking at this defense. I'm looking at this defense under a microscope because I've been excited to watch this defense all off season long. Tonight's our first opportunity to see them, and it's an opportunity against one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best running backs in the NFL. What does it look like? If we sit here after the game and we're praising the hell out of the defense, that's a major, major positive because they're not going to see another team like this for quite some time this year.
Huge. Let me add on to this because let's not forget, and I can't take credit for this. Give a shout out to my guy Renaissance Man on Twitter right now. You guys, let's not forget. We went into playing the Ravens early last year without Matt Milano, without Terrell Bernard, without Taron Johnson, right? And that was in week 4. Those guys didn't play that game. So, and let's not forget, Taylor Rapp also left the game early. So we were depleted, if you will, going up against a high-powered team that was desperate with their backs against the wall. So although most folks I say this is going to be a rematch of those things for early in the season when everybody was healthy, Ravens side, we didn't have a healthy squad. So we're going into this a little healthier. Not where we want it to be. I mean, obviously the cornerback position is going to be an interesting one. We don't know who's exactly going to get the start. That'll be very interesting, but this is going to be a different matchup. Now, week 1, as you can see, this week 1s can be hit and miss. Go look at the Detroit Lions. Ask them how they feel about their week 1 performance. Go ask the Atlanta Falcons. Go ask, I mean, you name it. You saw what took place today. So it's going to be interesting nonetheless. But big time things are going to happen. And there are going to be certain things that I really want to pay attention to. And I'm wearing this shirt on purpose. This guy right here. You sat out for a little bit. You showed that I respect this team. I'm here because I love this team. But I'm also going to let you guys know that I stand on my business. And his business he stood on. And he sat out. He let the team know that I mean it when I say it. I ain't touching this field until y'all pay me. And that's exactly what they did. So now that we paid you, James Cook, I need to see James Cook, the fresh leg James Cook, come in and be the difference in this game. We have a very good opportunity to, I mean, I'm looking at all the analysts picking their teams. Did you see that? They're going Bills losing, Ravens. It's all Ravens across the board. That's the way we like it. At home, we're the underdog. We're the underdog at home. All right, bet. Let's show them what it is. But it starts off with the run game. You got to show why we put you in the kitchen. So I need to see you cook today. So I'm looking to see James Cook. I'm looking to see guys that didn't play in week 4 last year to show up and really be the difference going into this game.
Totally agree. Speaking of which, we have James Cook as part of one of our plays over on the Sleeper Picks app. As you can see, we put this in play on Friday night, walked through it, and this is what Rico and I ended up coming up with over on Sleeper. By the way, link in the description below. Sleeper, a fantasy sports plus real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports. Over 6 million active users in 2023. That helped them become the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the world, and it's features like this that make it no secret as to why. Here's the slip Rico and I came up with. Lamar Jackson more than 228.5 pass yards. James Cook, as you were just alluding to, Rico, needs to have a big night. I'm in the same boat as you. I think that this is a big night for James Cook. That's why we have him more than 54.5 rush yards. Derrick Henry, Rico has him at 81.5 or more than 81.5 rush yards. Excuse me. I think it's going to come close to that. We'll see. I know we went back and forth a little bit on that, but we're expecting some offense here which might go against what we saw in the divisional round. Even though it was a somewhat higher scoring game, it was a bit sloppy. There was snow on the ground. Maybe we see a faster paced game tonight. We also have Josh Allen more than 32.5 rush yards because we think that this game might call for more Josh Allen leg than we see in games coming up here because of the opponent. If you want to get in on this and many more, go over to the link in the description below. That'll take you right to Sleeper. Use the promo code BF25 and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper in the description today. And I think if it goes the way we think it does, Rico, based on our picks there, I think we're expecting some offense here. I mean, that's basically calling for the top guys to really kind of do what you expect them to do. And I think that would result in maybe a higher scoring point game than we saw throughout the day today, by the way. The highest scoring game of the day today, and I'm not kidding you, is Jets Steelers. So that's what the bar is right now. We'll see what happens. No,
not something I expected, but I'll tell you this. Justin Fields, I can't get over how poised he looked, how natural. It looked like the Justin Fields that was coming out of Ohio State. Like, that's what it looked like. Mobile, and now he did have some throws that I'm sure he wish he could have back. But for the most part, I think the Jets may have found their quarterback. They may have found their quarterback. Now, it is week 1. We got to let things fester and let things get going. But Aaron Glenn looked good in his debut, although losing. His team seems to, there's some respect there. But old man Rodgers, don't count out old man Rodgers. He made it his business. He says, I might be misquoting him, but pretty much saying, I wanted to make sure that I want to know nothing to do with the Jets having them get a win today. I wanted to make sure that they lost.
He said he wanted to beat everybody associated with the New York Jets.
There you have it.
Which is just,
he did.
We like Aaron Rodgers for today, folks. That was a great quote. We love to hear it.
Was on display today. You got to love it. You got to love it. So that's the way I look at it going into this game. So we were 10 minutes away, 8 minutes away from kickoff. So, folks, let's talk about this. What are your predictions? Hit me with your predictions. What are your score predictions? What are your hot takes? What is standing out for you in this game? Go ahead and let me have it in the chat right now. I got a couple questions for you. Give me the score prediction. Hashtag it. Let me have it right now. And who will be your spotlight hero? Defensively, offensively. Hashtag spotlight hero. Give me who you guys got as who's going to be the guy that makes that one play, or the guy that is the guy that keeps going. Now, Keon Coleman has been getting a lot of praise. He's been getting a lot of love. Is this where we see Keon Coleman explode into a potential receiver 1 for Josh Allen? Who will be the guy that actually says, I'm your guy, you can count on me? Who do you have? Chat, you guys let me know who else. Who do you have as his guy? Is it going to be Kincaid, the guy that we've been asking for? Or will it be an unlikely number? Will it be the new number 14 in Tyrell Shavers? What are your thoughts on this receiver room?
Yeah, let us know in the chat as we come to a conclusion here with 7 minutes till kick. Keon Coleman, it could be a big night for him. We're expecting a big season for him. I'd love to see him pop off tonight, but something tells me I think it's going to be a James Cook night. I think it could be a Josh Palmer night, potentially. Could we see the new name in Buffalo be a guy that Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth bring up throughout the broadcast? But I think it's going to be more of a run-oriented type game. I don't know why I'm necessarily thinking this. I think it's just got a lot to do with wanting to keep Lamar off the field. So my X factor for Buffalo is going to be James Cook and the legs of Josh Allen. I think that's going to end up getting it done. But I'd love to see Keon Coleman get more targets than he was getting per game last year, Rico. That would be a good sign tonight.
That would be a good sign. But listen, we already know Maxwell Harrison's out. We also know that Trey White is out. The real question is, who's going to be your starter going into this game? Now, I'm looking at the defensive backs here. It says Christian Benford obviously is going to be your starter. Is it going to be Dorian Strong, or is it going to be Jamarcus Ingram? We don't know yet, unless it's already been presented to us on Twitter. Unless you guys know, let me know. I'm curious as to who's going to be starting alongside Keon Coleman, but we shall see. So we are 5 minutes into the game. Score predictions, drop them in here, folks. But before we do read some of your predictions out here, I need to let you guys know, you guys have been obviously famously part of the Bing Squad. For you guys have been supporting us for years. Please, I got to give you guys a shout out. You guys have been such a big support to us. So if you haven't heard, I kind of dropped it on you guys. Again, we launched our server, our Discord server. It's our VIP community server for you guys. Open 24/7 to talk football, talk fantasy, talk you name it, you got it. Exclusive chats. You got the interactive chatter from myself, Bot, my man Pierre, Bobby's in the chat. All those things will be going on. Are you already a YouTube member? Just click the invite. We'll invite you. We'll get you connected to our account, and you're in. If you're not a member, don't fret. It's free. Try for 3 days. No strings attached. Let me know how you guys feel about it. So there's a giveaway alert. 3 fans who join tonight, whether it's between the live show with Pierre or our post-game show, you will be invited to our VIP access. It is all on us. So don't fret. Hit the description. Go in the description. You guys can let us know. We'll be in there right before the game. Sometimes we get hype, man. Sometimes I need to vent before I get into the chat. So does Bot. We'll do all that. Go ahead and join us, and let's get this thing cracking. Let's hear out these predictions.
Run through these, Rico, because we got the game kicking off in like 3 minutes here. So let's ride. Let's rock. Come on.
Listen, 26-24. We got Tyler Bass. Tyler Bass ain't in, bro. Tyler Bass ain't in. So somebody's been sleeping at the wheel. So we got 30-22. We got some scores in here. We got 35-28. Yo, we got a lot of Bills lovers in here. We haven't had one low score of 24-20. Listen, we got Bills fans are hyped. They think that we're going to win it. So you know what? I'm going to end it like that. We got a live show with Pierre coming up right after this. So you guys go ahead and jump in the live show. You know how he does. Shot time. But you got anything else before we dip off and get into this game?
Go and dip off and watch it. It's going to be fun. I hope to God afterwards when you join us on the BF post-game show that we are smiling ear to ear, that we are stoked, that we're talking about a dub. It's going to be a tough one. I hope we have some fun stuff to talk about afterwards. But hey, win or lose, make sure to join Rico and I after the game, right where you're at in the BF YouTube channel for the post-game show. Stop by, check out Pierre as well, of course, right where you're at during the game for the live stream during the game. What do you got for me, Rico? Anything else?
Listen, go Bills. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Woo, doggy. Enjoy week 1. Enjoy the first game of the year, folks. We will see you after the game is over right here on the BF YouTube channel for the post-game show. Until then, much love. Get it done tonight. Go Bills.
Go Bills, baby.